Merry post Christmas. Merry
Happy
post Christmas.
happy posted days? Posted days?
Happy pre New Year. Both of those.
Happy end of the year celebration with your Pex Pals.
Happy end of the year with the PP boys.
That's us, by the way.
That's us. We're the we're the PP boys.
In case you got this, 27 seconds far in and didn't realize we call ourselves PP boys because
Yeah,
we're still children.
I don't think people
You know what I
realize
mean?
that. I don't realize that. So yeah, when we set up the little room here to do our recording, I named the room. If it's me, Joel's like Pex Pals. He's all proper and like correct. He's all Pex Pals and it's episode, but he does a whole description. I just write PP boys.
He does. That's the sad part.
Oh man. Hope everyone had a good uncomfortable dinner with their family, as everyone does during the holidays.
Oh yeah.
And if you didn't, then good on you.
I hope everyone has this terrible upset stomach from too much red meat, just
Oh
like
my
me.
god, yeah, dude. Oh my god.
Back to back for me, it was not tight, dude.
No, dude. Oh
It was not
man.
tight. This
Actually, you
last
know
week
what?
was rough, dude.
Really, I've actually the last like years or so, I've been
Mhm.
like I overdo it all the time on Christmas. Every Christmas, I'm just like I got to eat everything in sight. But this last like 2 years, I'm like, no, I gotta chill. I gotta chill. So the Christmas wasn't so bad. Christmas
Okay,
wasn't so bad for me. I was good. I got a
good.
sick ass jacket though for Christmas.
Oh, sick.
I'm really stoked on it. It's like my favorite thing.
You know what? That's funny you brought that up because that's what I told Trina that next, like, sometime this upcoming year,
Yeah.
she needs to get me one because
Ooh.
I only have sweatshirts and I have two like pullover like 3/4 sweaters. So like when we
Yeah,
go
yeah,
out, I never have anything nice to wear other than North Faces. But they're
yeah.
all loud and like
Yeah,
crinkly and like
and it's not raining and you're not in the tundra.
yeah, it's not windy.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not breaking any wind.
They're not
You know what I
breaking the
mean?
wind.
You know what I mean? So it's like, goddamn, goddamn.
Well, welcome everyone to the final episode of 2022 of Pex Pals, the only Apex Legends podcast for the mediocre gamer. That's right. There's a couple other Apex Legends podcasts out there, and we don't like them. I'm kidding, we like them. But
We kind of like them.
we kind of like them. This one's for the mediocre gamer. That means you. That means me. That means Joel.
Yeah.
Check us out on all of our social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm missing one. YouTube, whatever, all those places at Pex Pals Podcast. You can also email us, Pex Pals
Oh, and
Podcast.
Facebook.
Oh, and Facebook. I forgot to say that.
That's the one you forgot, I think.
That's the one I forgot. Which is funny. Email us at pexpalspodcast@gmail.com if you want to email us and say stuff like Calvin cusses too much.
Yeah, don't leave stuff like that in the reviews. That hurts us. You know,
that
just
hurts. It
email
hurts
it
my
to
feelings.
us.
It hurts my feelings.
Just email, hey, Calvin, you should be nicer to Joel.
Yeah, Calvin, stop cussing.
But I love the show.
But the show is great.
Or like, hey, Joel, you're a punk bitch. But like, you guys make great content. Like that's also acceptable.
I would never say that to you, Joe Cupcake.
You wouldn't.
I'd never do that to you.
We have other people that would.
Dan Fonts. So anyway, this is this is the last episode of 2022, and for funsies, we decided to do a whole mini comprehensive review of all the stuff that was released this year for the game characters, LTMs, and all that stuff like that. But first and foremost, we're going to do two things.
Oh, two things.
Yeah, the first one is going to be the weapon of the week because duh. The second one is going to be weapon of the year. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's different from your weapon of the week. I will go first on the week. So, my weapon of the week, which should be no surprise to anybody because it's a really good gun, is the 99. Because
you're going to say the Sentinel again for the 8,000th time.
Listen, man, it's always the Sentinel. Here's the thing. Right now, because of Broken Moon, it's always 301 and it's always Sentinel, right? Always. Yeah. But sometimes I feel in a funny mood, and I'm like, you know what? I've been playing a lot of Mirage lately. Going back,
there's way less vantages, so might as well.
Well, right, which is odd because it's Broken Moon. You would think there'd be more vantages.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I was playing Vantage for a good while, but I've been playing Mirage for funsies.
Yeah.
But with Mirage, I play Mirage and I like to get really close to people because I can, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
you're like me, you're a close talker.
I'm a close talker. Hey everybody. Um, so when I get close, I want a gun that's gonna do me good in close range. And the Sentinel and the 3-in-1 aren't the best at close range. The Sentinel I can do pretty good close range. I'm a regular Kodiaks with the Sentinel close range. Um, but the 3-in-1 sometimes it's hit or miss close range.
Yeah, yeah,
And
fair.
the light guns, like every map, don't know why, you can always find light guns, you can always find light ammo everywhere. And so the 99's just been my go-to. Chuck them with a headshot or a body shot for 70 plus damage Sentinel, get really close to them and just light them up. Especially in those end of games where
Mm,
every Broken Moon game is a close range battle.
yeah,
You can't. There's never just like a mid range pick off somebody and then run in and then just clean up. It's always like 3 teams at the end push each other now.
yeah.
So the 99's been my boy. What about you?
That's funny. The 99 is not mine. I have been using that gun more though. Like I
Mm,
just like on drop, it seems to be I'm finding it more than the alternator. And
mm,
like, alternator, is my shit.
mm-hmm.
Um, but the last couple days I've been using the 99 more. I'm getting better with it. ADS, hip fire, I can't kill shit with that weapon. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. I just something in my brain doesn't work right, I guess.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing.
Yeah, but my weapon of the week, I mean, not gonna lie to you, Calvin. I am at like a dead ass tie, bro.
Oh, tell me.
Two things refound their way into my arsenal this week, and I'm
Okay,
happy with both.
but they be.
Uh, one's a long range gun, and one's a close range gun.
Oh,
So it's a good balance. The triple
mm,
take,
the
um,
triple
they
take.
did some buffs to it last little patch, which I think was a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It
it's
did.
not
Yeah.
it's not the triple take of old, but it feels real good again.
Okay.
It's still not like, I'm still
The
gonna
triple
grab a trip.
take. I don't mean to interrupt, but the triple take of old was nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
probably the number one thing I miss.
Yeah.
Like the old Spitfire and the old triple take, I would do a lot to have those guns back. You know what I mean?
Well, let's talk about that in a second. But
Yeah.
continue.
Anyways. So triple take is one, and then for my close range weapon, it's the car.
Okay.
I've been
The
actually
car.
like we've talked. I think this was like when we first started the show. Like I'm not a firing range guy. Like I just
Right.
jump in. I just jump in and start playing the game. You know what I
As,
mean?
as do most people.
Yeah. And then the other day, I was like, I changed. I'm actually trying a new thing, Calvin, which we can segue to this right now. Actually, um, screen clutter is this thing I keep hearing like average mediocre gamers like us talk about. Right?
Okay.
Everyone's so used to the basic settings in the game and what the pros do and this, that, and the other thing, right?
Yeah.
I turned off my damage counter.
Interesting.
So when I shoot someone, all I get is the flashing X
Yeah.
for the bullets hitting, and then the audio cue if I break the shield.
Huh.
And when there's a lot of bullshit going on in a room, like if it's like a flame grenade and a rev ball
Yeah.
and I'm hip firing, like I'm able to keep my cool a little bit better because I'm not sitting there worrying about reading the numbers I did to the dude.
Interesting.
And everyone's like, dude, you're crazy. So like how like I was playing with Cody the other night and told him I was doing that. And he's like, well, how can you tell me when you've cracked someone? I'm like, well, dude, we get a visual notification in the upper
Yeah.
right. And also I was like, how many times do you have a teammate that goes, oh, he's one and he's not one?
And he's
Like
not one.
no one doesn't matter how good of a player they are, no one's ever accurate with that.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I was like, I don't fucking care. But I mean, I'm consistently getting, higher kills a game right now than I normally do.
Hmm.
And I've been playing the game less.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Because instead of saying he's one, you're like he's broken, which
yeah,
is a whole different statement.
correct. Yeah.
That's cool. Hmm.
Yeah, because it's easy to go like, because even if you get down, like you can look at the feed in the upper right, like, oh, hey, I broke the shields on the Bloodhound, even though I'm down.
Yeah.
You don't say
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
down because there's not enough comms,
Right.
not enough time, but like it's easy to communicate. And then also like I just find my aim like staying on the body of a moving person with like an R9 or something like that is a lot
Yeah.
easier for me right now with that setting changed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, actually. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely think a lot of people are gonna be like, "That's dumb." Like, I get it. Like
No,
seeing
no,
how
it's
much you
not
would hit a
dumb.
person for.
I don't think it's done because for when I started to like really try to learn the game and like get better at the game, I turned off all like the audio cues. So like all the voice lines and everything, even the music,
Mhm.
I turned it all off.
I think I
And
have. I think I did the same thing.
yeah, I turned it all off. I was like, okay, I just want to be able to look at the game, see what's happening in the game, and you know, and go off of what I can see and what the actual things in the game are supposed to sound like without you know um without Lifeline telling me extra supplies here, every two
Yeah.
seconds.
Well, you want to know what's funny, Cal?
What's that?
While we're talking about the end of the year recap, like a month or two ago, my Xbox reset all the settings on my game.
Oh,
So I loaded into a game and everyone's like talking to me, and I'm like, what is all this noise? Like, there's the music, like,
yeah,
there's music when you fly in the
yeah,
background. Like,
mm-hmm,
there's music going the entire time you're trying to fight somebody. I'm like, wait,
yeah,
what the fuck, dude?
yes.
Like, like the vanilla version of the game is kind of whack, dude. Like, you have to tweak those settings.
There's
Like,
so much going on.
I didn't
Like,
realize like the game is too audio heavy, which is probably why the audio doesn't fucking work.
well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, there's literally sounds for everything. For
Yeah.
everything. And so it's just like give me a break. And so like I said, yeah, when I was trying to learn the game at a higher level than what my current or what my previous skill level was, I turned it all off. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. So no,
Well,
that's perfectly valid
yeah.
thing to do.
Well, there you go. There's some free advice for a lot of you in here. Like double check your sound settings,
And play
double
with them.
check your aim settings. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Play
know
with
what?
them,
Maybe
mate.
maybe we should be those people, Calvin. Maybe we should do like a little YouTube video on like what your settings are
Oh,
and what my
interesting.
settings are
Yeah.
for console and for
So
you
here's the
know.
thing though. Here's the thing though, is no one's gonna like my settings. No one's because I'm default everything. I don't change anything.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's important to document that people still play like that. Like there, I know
yeah,
there's a few of the pros that run 4-4 everything.
yeah.
4-4 classic, which I think is default. That is default. That's what you run.
For controller, I play mouse keyboard.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to people like you, so I don't know.
Oh shit. No, and so like yeah, like apparently my shit's wild. I do I do default. I think that I'm pretty sure the default sensitivity in the game was 7. I'm pretty sure, right? For
Oh,
mouse
definitely.
sensitivity.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely for controller. It's 3-3. I think it's either
Yeah,
three
yeah.
three or
So
3-4.
yeah, so for PC for mouse sensitivity, I think it's 7. I haven't touched it. So whatever it is in the game, I'm pretty sure that's the default. And then my DPI is 1300, which apparently is insane. That if I'm playing with the 7 sensitivity and 1300 DPI, I'm like spinning circles all the time. Like I was playing with a friend with some friends of mine and they were like they died and they were watching my screen and they were like, "Whoa, why is your shit so fast?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "What's your sensitivity at?" And I told them, they're like, "Oh my god, like how are you able to aim and shoot anything? Like how do you hit wingman shots? Like you're insane. Like what is this crap?" I was like, "I don't
Yeah.
know." Like I grab the game and go, "Oh, this is how it's supposed to be played," and then I play it. I never adjust any game ever. So
Hmm.
like when I switch from Apex to Overwatch, like I get disoriented because Overwatch is so much slower by
Oh
default than
God,
Apex.
yeah.
Dude, it's so funny. But anyway, so now that we talked about our weapons of the week, Joe Cupcake, do you happen to have an idea what your weapon of the year would be?
This is so hard
I'm pretty sure
because
I know yours. I'm pretty sure I can give
no,
you yours.
no, I don't have one
I'll
because
give you yours.
well, what is it?
The EVA 8.
Nope.
You don't want to say the EVA 8 is your weapon of the
I,
year.
I don't think that's fair because it was a care package gun.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It went away and then it came back and you still love it.
Yes, but my point is like I wasn't a gun I was able to use the whole year because it was in the care package. So like
Hmm.
I don't know, man.
I'll tell you. Okay. I mean, this should be obvious. My weapon of the year is the Sentinel.
Of course, that
The
sounds about
Sentinel.
right. That
And
sounds right.
well, and here's the thing. For two reasons, right? One, it's never been a care package gun, and it will never be a care package gun because the Kraber's already there, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Kraber's already there, and to some degree, now with the changes to it, the Sentinel's kind of better than the Kraber in some regards because, um, you can do more damage at a higher DPS with the Sentinel than the Kraber. And
Okay.
for all intents and purposes, right? You can with the right with if you shoot at someone with a purple helmet and red armor, it's going to take you 2 shots with the Kraber to knock them and 2 shots with the Sentinel to knock them too, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So like, what's the
Yeah.
and you could shoot the Sentinel faster, right? You could always find the Sentinel. It's always on the map somewhere. You can always find it.
Yeah.
And number two, you can always reload more ammo because you can't with the Kraber, right? Once you use your clips, you're done. You're done, sir, done.
Yeah.
And the Sentinel just, I don't know. It's useful on every map. On every map. And like I was saying earlier, you can get close range with the Sentinel. People post on Reddit all the time, like, check out this really cool shit I did with the Sentinel, and it's just them shooting people close range. Like, you can do that. Like, you could totally do that. And you can win a fight like that because easier with the Sentinel than you could with the Kraber, because with the Kraber, right, the reload on it is so goddamn slow, right? The spread on it, the hip fire spread on it is so goddamn wild, right?
Yeah.
The Sentinel is actually tried and true close range. Like, you can get those shots.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's my weapon of the year, especially with Vantage coming out this year and her passive to see the distance on it like automatically. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, even when they buffed and nerfed and changed the longbow, right? The Sentinel was always the tried and true
Oh
sniper
yeah.
rifle.
Oh yeah.
Even nerfed the charge rifle, right? But the Sentinel is still, I mean, charge rifle is easy to use, right? But it's harder to get knocks with the charge rifle than it is to get knocks with the Sentinel, right?
True.
You can like, people use the charge rifle for 2 things. One, because it's easy. Two, to get their 2K badge. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why people use the charge rifle. People use the Sentinel to actually hit things and knock them.
Yeah. Fair. Fair.
Weapon of the year, the Sentinel.
Okay. For me, you know, I'm gonna go out of left field here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not gonna expect this one.
I'm not.
Mine's gonna be the flatline.
I
A
am
gun I
not expecting
a
that.
gun I've traditionally ignored because
Yes.
I always just grabbed an R3, but
Mm-hmm.
it did spend some time R3 spent some time out of the rotation this year.
You did.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with flatline. It's a gun I traditionally wasn't good with. I've learned to use. It's still not my favorite hip fire, but it's still one of the strongest, especially with the Spitfire being nerfed into Oblivion, and
Sure.
that kind of was my go-to for a long time. I'm gonna say the flatline,
Interesting.
which is strange. If they hadn't recently nerfed the Prowler, it would be the Prowler, but the Prowler's back to
Mm.
being nigh useless again.
Well, wait, okay, well, hold on. Explain that to me, because I still think the Prowler is still good to use.
The Prowler's a great gun, but they finally made the hip fire not powerful.
That's Oh yeah, with the laser sight stuff.
Yeah, so because of that, well, and they just did some basic changes. Like I think the spread is increased now when you hip fire, like stuff like that. I don't
Mm,
remember what the changes were. We'd have to go back and check the patch notes, but
sure.
this last season, the Prowler no longer hits the way it was the prior to. Because
Right.
I think you remember, like, I don't think I've been more excited for anything coming out of the care
Oh,
package than
love
the
the Prowler.
Prowler.
Love the Prowler.
If we had to choose a care package weapon that is my weapon of the year, it's actually going to be the alternator. It's not going to be the EVA because I love that gun, man. I
Right.
love it.
But the flatline.
Yeah. So flatline is mine.
Interesting.
Flatline is mine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know what, Calvin? Let's get into the rest of our episode.
Yeah. Well,
The
first off,
2020. What's up?
listeners, viewers, let us know your weapon of the year. And it could
Oh
be the
yes.
301. Hey, listen. Joe and I, we're not haters. If the 301 is your weapon of the year, let us know. If the wingman's your weapon of the year, let us know. We don't care. But we just want
Yeah.
to know what gun that you were rocking all year and you're like, this is my fucking gun. Let us know. All right, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's get into the bulk of our episode, Calvin.
Tell
20
me.
the 2022 recap
Let's
for
go.
Apex. Apex. We started the year real strong. We had the
Mm-hmm.
third anniversary,
Yes.
which contained, I think, my favorite thing that's happened all year,
Which
Calvin.
was?
We got the throwback maps. We got, what was it, year one or year zero Kings Canyon, and then
Yeah,
did
that's
we also
right.
get year zero Olympus? Or
We
sorry, Yeah, we did, didn't we?
It
Or
was
no?
no, it was year zero. It was Kings Canyon for sure, and I think at some point we got default Olympus for some reason, but I don't know if it was at
No,
the
it
same
was the
time.
same thing. It was the same thing.
Was it okay?
So we started with the 2 year zero maps, and then the addition of Mad Maggie.
That's
That was
right.
how we started the year. I felt like that was a strong start.
Angry
I think
Margaret, dude.
I think it's taken a whole year for people to really embrace and understand the tool that is Mad Maggie.
Honestly, dude, like we were playing the other day and we're playing ranked in those diamond lobby, and this Maggie was just fucking us up. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like final circle type thing. There were still like 8 squads, and we were in a very precarious position. And this Maggie just knew we were there, and it was just like drill, drill, grenade, drill, grenade, ball. It was just like, come on, like leave us alone. Like we
Yeah,
can't. There's nowhere for us to go. Leave us alone. But no, Maggie's great.
yeah. No, Maggie. I really love the addition of her.
Hmm.
Um, that's that we started strong with that.
Yep.
You know, um, we don't need to go break everything down in order, but we got. I think the thing the game needed the most, which was control, showing
Yeah.
showing the player base that like, hey, we are working on new things.
Hmm.
Especially after what was it, the end of year 3, they had that debacle where like, we're going to give you new LTM every week, and then 2 of the modes straight up, they were just like, nope, these don't work right, so we're not going to do this, and we're just going to give you like old shit. The end
Yeah.
of year 3, I believe, right? The end of year 2 is when they added the Evo shields. A lot of people don't even realize
Oh
that the shields
yeah.
never used to be. Evo shields was like a mode. It was an LTM. It
Yes.
was not a like you had to find better shields. You couldn't level them up by fighting,
Hmm.
which I think is a very important mechanic we got in year 2. But control Calvin, like I love it. I love what it did for the viewership. I love what it did for the community. I love what it did for the game. I love what it did
Control.
for like the competitive scene, the clips, all of it. I
Hmm.
think that was a healthy addition. Um, what about you? What are your thoughts on those first couple things?
Like I said, Maggie is great. I think the addition of control, right? Especially after the death, essentially the unspoken of death of arenas. I think control was really cool. I think the lean towards a more LTM based game, because I actually saw a Reddit post the other day and it was like, without LTMs, the game's unplayable for casual people.
It's
Um,
true.
and
I
it's very true.
I don't know if it's a completely 100% true, but definitely leaning in the right direction of being true.
Right. And so I think that initial at the start of year 3, that initial like mindset from the devs like was a really good idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, and then obviously map wise, we got both. Calvin and I just realized this before we started filming the episode. Everybody, like, we got both Stormpoint and Broken Moon this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they gave us the thing we hate, and then they gave us like I know a lot of people don't like Broken Moon. I love it. Broken Moon's become my number 2 map, Calvin. I don't know about you.
It's a good map, but it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, so my map list is probably going to surprise everybody. It's Olympus. No
Mhm.
shit.
No
Everyone
shit.
knows I love Olympus.
And everybody loves
Broken
that.
Broken Moon is 2.
Interesting.
Kings Canyon is 3,
Mhm.
and World's Edge is actually 4.
World's Edge over Stone Point.
Yeah, and then Storm Point's 5, of course.
Interesting.
Storm
Interesting.
Point. Now, if we're talking ranked, Storm Point does become my ranking system is different for ranked, because for
Okay.
ranked Kings Canyon is the bottom hands down. Like the map just wasn't built correctly. They've admitted it multiple times. Like
I like seeing King Candy on a ring.
I
I
mean, I
can't.
like it, but I definitely think it's the most frustrating one to me. And Storm Point is less frustrating and ranked for me. But anyways, that's not the point. I love Broken Moon.
Mhm.
Storm Point forced a lot of us to learn new physics, long
True.
range fighting.
That's true.
It forced people, like, one thing that I think I've improved on a lot this year is my rotations, paying
Mm.
attention to beacons, drop points. A lot of
Mhm.
that has also come from like watching ALGS,
Yeah.
listening to some of these like higher level players. but like Stormpoint really made you focus on like where do people drop,
No, that's
where are the beacons, because there is not a lot of rotate options unless you have a Valkyrie.
that's a very valid statement because the first three maps, Kings Canyon, World's Edge, and Olympus, those are fighting maps. Those are those you win those maps by winning your fights. Stormpoint, it's the like we said a couple episodes ago, the entire map is inclined. The entire map is inclined from the bottom at the beaches all the way to
Yeah.
the top to the lightning rod, right? It's all an incline. And so that the fighting at the different levels kind of like started there and understanding like the rotations like you said, because you can get caught somewhere or you can get caught in a choke somewhere, because that's one thing about Stormpoint. I think that people hate it the most, and I think people really say it though. The reason why the people hate Stormpoint is because of the chokes. The chokes are deadly,
Yeah.
and you die at the chokes, right? And we're starting to see that a little bit with Broken Moon, especially with Promenade. But yeah, that's a very valid statement. The new maps are really map awareness types of
Yeah.
maps. Maps.
Well, it goes back to something I've been preaching since we started the show, Calvin, is that Apex is a team-based strategy game.
Yes.
Like, yes, you can be cracked. Yes, you can kind of sort of like what do they call it? Pub stomp a lobby
Yeah.
sometimes, but like still at the end of the day, if you want to have a true high level game, it requires your full team. It requires team and strategy and not just like casually, like that's why when you watch people play LGS, they freak out about like, oh, well, like, yeah, of course we lost this day of the playoffs because we didn't get a single beacon in our drop point the entire time.
Right.
Like to a casual person, you're like, oh, cry more, baby. But at the same, but like if you understand
Right.
how Apex is played and the tools it gives you, that is pretty shitty.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So no, that's a very valid statement. So this year also, with the new maps, we got a couple new characters, right?
Oh yeah.
So we got when with Stormpoint, we got Newcastle. That was the whole thing about Stormpoint, was that Newcastle was coming with it. So we got Maggie, we got Newcastle, we got Vantage, and we got with Broken Moon Catalyst. I like the idea of releasing a map with a new character, right? With the lore sort of tied to that character.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got 4 brand new characters. How would you rank our new characters, Joel?
Well, that's easy.
Okay,
Like
tell me.
Vantage is 1, Maggie is 2, and who the fuck are the other ones? I don't even know. You know what I mean? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, but I would say overall, like it's Vantage is just barely like if both maps weren't so big, like they gave us Vantage on the backs of 2 big maps.
That's true.
If you had given us another Olympus or World's Edge map where you do a lot of indoor fighting, Mad Maggie would hands down be the number 1 pick. But because that's not what they've given us, I'm going to Advantage as 1. Her passive, both the bullet drop and the information on all the armors of the other team and how many members are alive is so crucial. I also think it's very underappreciated. Like a lot of people, maybe because a lot of people, when you solo queue, your teammates don't communicate, so your Vantage is never actually telling you what's going on.
Right.
But then her sniper, even after they adjusted it a little bit, her ultimate is just so like
It's
if
killer.
you pair it, like I mean, I've been running with our buddy Colton a lot lately, and he's been running Maggie with a charge rifle and a car, which is that's fucked up. That's a fucked up like loadout. And then sometimes Waffler will pull out Vantage and with him, and it's like, oh well, I hit her with Vantage, and then Colton just fried her.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a 1-2.
damage
Like
buff.
it's easy. Yeah.
A damage buff is gross.
Yeah. So 1, 2 would be like I said, Vantage Maggie. I'm gonna give Newcastle 3.
Okay.
And Catalyst 4. I think Newcastle is too big brain of a legend. I think for them to add a legend like that, I'm very excited. We're kind of sort of getting like a class rework supposedly coming in the new year.
Interesting.
I do think Newcastle needs a little bit of love in certain directions.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be one more reason to play him because Gibby is still better, Lifeline is still better.
True.
Now don't get me wrong, Newcastle, I slide him in the same category as Crypto. If you're a big brain, like the people that are like Newcastle's mains are like fucking unstoppable.
Yeah. You can't kill them.
they're incredible. Yeah, you cannot kill them. They're so hard to deal with. They're spot on with like the reses, the wall placement, the usage of the shield. Like, I think he got one of the hardest post-release nerfs ever
Mm,
because there was so many little things with like his mobile shield and
yeah.
the angles at which it blocked shit. Like they
Right.
had to do so much to tweak him. And it wasn't because he was overpowered. It was just because he's such a big brain character. They didn't even think about some stuff, I think, when they
Right.
released him,
Right. 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 Well, yeah, that's
Um,
what that always happens. The players figure out how best to play the character, right? The devs
yeah.
design it, but when they release it, the character's like, "Oh, I can do this crazy shit," and the dev's like, well, "I didn't even think about that."
Yeah, the dev's like, wait, you
Yeah, you
what?
could do that. You could do that.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. And then Catalyst is 4. She's a fun legend.
Hmm.
I do like the damage tick of her traps. I do like that the traps aren't destroyable unless you're near them. I thought that was a cool physic.
Yeah.
Um, the door reinforcement, especially after changing it.
Hmm.
So I don't know, a lot of people don't realize this, but they altered Mad Maggie and Catalyst both after Catalyst released a little bit.
Yeah.
When Catalyst first came out, Mad Maggie was like a fucking hard counter,
Well,
but
hard
now
counter.
now she's not.
Yeah.
Um, the drill won't take out the reinforced doors.
Yeah.
So they did alter that. I do think a thing to note, Calvin, I still want to go test this out in the firing range with you. I think there's actually a bad part to Catalyst that people aren't realizing. I'm pretty sure. So if you're Catalyst and you rebuild a blown off door, right? It's
Yes.
just the webbing.
Yeah.
You can shoot out the webbing. You don't need to punch or nade because there's been times where like I'll rebuild the door and then they still just rush right in
Okay.
behind
Okay.
me.
I get you.
Like
I
I don't
get
even
you.
have time to get so unless they're like going crazy, you know what I mean? I think that might be a thing. We should go check that in the
We should
firing
definitely check
range.
that.
Oh wait, we
Yeah.
can't check that in the firing range, but you know what I mean.
I get you.
Uh,
I get you.
we should try to figure out a way to test that theory. But this she was brought in, really cool story, really cool lore on the tails of a new awesome map that we've all been very excited for,
Hmm.
pre-release, but then she just kind of fell short,
Yeah.
her ult only being one direction, taking forever to cast. It's kind of like when they released Seer, you know, we all thought that his nano drones did more disabling in the ultimate because when
Hmm.
they released the Seer video, I remember specifically in the video, they're flying above part of World's Edge. There's a Valk in the air, right?
Yeah.
And then the Seer ult goes off and like the Valk falls. So
Yeah. The
everybody
Valkyrie falls.
assumed, and that was also like, they've talked about Catalyst being the counter to Seer. And it's like all the wall does. The wall didn't even block the Q,
Right.
Seer's scan when it was released. Now it does,
Yeah.
but you can still use his orb. So it's
Yeah.
like, dude, like just let the dude be countered.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone
Right.
agree. I mean, I don't think the player base has been unanimous on anything.
Right. No, it hasn't.
Like
But
I know
that's
that
one thing.
everybody hated Catalyst, or sorry,
Right.
everybody hated Caustic, but it
Yes.
was it was one of those like, oh, just don't push him in a room. You're a dumbass,
Right.
or
Right.
like have a couple nades. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people agreed that Caustic needed a rework and whatnot. I
Mm.
think the two things the player base is the most vocal about now is fuck Seer
Hmm.
and fix Pathfinder. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh
I think
yeah,
they're
that's
more
true.
united on those two things than almost anything else, which is
That's true.
crazy. And
But
so it's
yeah,
like,
I agree with your ranking though. I agree.
you do? Okay.
Well, not entirely. Not entirely.
Okay. Hit me
Um,
with yours. Hit me with yours.
so I do think that I think Mad Maggie is number one. Because Vantage is really good. Don't get me wrong, right? But people don't play to Vantage's skills. People
Mhm.
don't play like, hey, let's all wait for Vantage to pull out her sniper rifle, hit that shot. We'll 3, 2, 1 this person, and then we'll charge in and get the remaining two guys. No one
Yeah,
plays like that.
that's true.
Nobody plays like that. Everyone's like, go, 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 right? Maggie fits that play style. Maggie's drill is a terror. Maggie's ball in a closed room is a nightmare, right? Maggie's speed boost with the shotgun is gross because she's just running everywhere with a shotgun
Yep.
in your face. Like Maggie for me personally is the number one of the new four.
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna say that Newcastle is number two, and the reason why I say Newcastle number two is because We saw Newcastle in the last ALGS tournament, right?
And he was, man,
And he was killing
yeah.
it. And he was killing it. And like you said, he's a big brain character.
Oh yeah.
And if you get someone who knows how to play Newcastle, you can't kill him. The only reason
Yeah.
why the only reason why Newcastle's number 2 and not number 1 is because his moves are easily counterable. They're
Yeah.
easily counterable.
Correct.
You
Correct.
just go around them. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah. Or
go around
as
them.
what's our reoccurring answer to people who complain in the game, Calvin? Play Rev.
Yeah, like then you just like then he can't do anything, and you're just like
Yeah.
he's just a dumb guy. He's running around. He just a huge target.
He's just a dumb guy that clowns on Bang. That's all he does.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I do think but he is very useful, very good. I'm
yeah.
gonna say that I'm gonna put Catalyst at number 4 only because Catalyst got released on these 2 really big maps that have lots of highs and lots of lows, and that's just not good for her moves. You know,
No.
she
Yeah.
probably is really good on World's Edge and Kings Canyon. Like she's
yeah.
probably exceptionally good on those 2 maps, right? Where it's mostly level. But like I said, I play mostly rank, and so I'm always on Broken Moon, and I see Catalyst. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go above you, or I'm just gonna go around this. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're not really doing anything to me.
Mhm.
But and then Vantage, I love her ultimate. It's so great. Her her tactical with the bird. It's a bird, not a bat. With
it's
the
a bat.
bird, I know. With the bird, it's it's pretty good. You can get really high places, It's a weird speed, and it's hard to shoot when she jumps. But it does leave you open to get shot on the descent.
Yeah.
But I put her above Catalyst just because she has more versatility, and she's a lot easier to play on the maps.
Yeah. The other beat I think they missed, Calvin, as we've talked a lot about ults and the way they function.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I think with Catalyst, like the fact that it only shoots out from you in a straight line,
Mm.
I think that's a really missed beat.
Mm.
I think like you being able to like tap the ultimate button again and you could deploy the wall sideways.
Yeah,
Like I think there just needs to be a tweak there. Like
that's
with
that's
Newcastle,
they can't do that though. That's an Overwatch thing.
I'm aware. I'm
They can't
aware.
do that's an
Yeah,
Overwatch thing.
but with Newcastle, it's pretty like you're really able to
Mhm.
directionally reposition his wall,
Yes.
and you're able to fully 360 reposition his tactical.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So you are right. That is definitely an Overwatch thing.
Yeah.
You know, but that being said, like I just think if you could do the wall sideways, I think it lasts long enough. I don't think that's an issue. I
Yeah.
think the blinding effects are good, but also I've seen people that can just run right along the wall like a skilled pathfinder,
Yeah.
and you won't hear them because the goo's making
So
too much noise.
loud.
So like
Yeah.
maybe increase the width. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
I'm
if
down
I'm
with
in like a
that.
really narrow hallway and I shoot it down the middle and I'm strafing back and forth, like
Yeah.
I can still just be killed by someone stationary on one side of the wall.
Right.
And
And not even that,
it
like
should be more disruptive.
no one's afraid to run through the wall.
Yeah.
No one's afraid. It's paper thin. You just walk right through it. And Catalyst only throws her wall up to escape,
Yeah.
right? People who play Catalyst only throw like, oh crap, let's escape, and they throw the wall up and they run away. And then you run through. They're not even looking at you run through. You get no notifications that someone went through your wall. So
Oh,
like,
that's true.
so it's no one's afraid to. I've seen people go through it all the time. Like no one's
Yeah.
afraid of it. And so if it was thicker, like you said, it takes longer to get through. It's more disorienting.
Mhm.
Like that's a very valid fix, I think,
Yeah, or at least like the slow should stick around for a
or
long time because you
something.
just
I
walk
don't
through a
know.
wall of fucking goo. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, or something.
Like,
Or they get
I'm
highlighted to
I'm
Catalyst,
yeah.
or
I mean,
something.
especially like you have if I have a digi threat, I'll run right through the wall.
Oh, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah, your overall vision is shrunk, but the digi threat is still working instantly. So
Yeah,
like you can just your movement's a little slower, but who cares? Like,
who cares? Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's yeah.
So
Those are. How would you rank the brand new heroes? That's Mad Maggie, Newcastle, Vantage, and Catalyst. Let us know
mhm.
on all our social media platforms at Pex Pals Podcast. Email us, pexpalspodcast@gmail.com. Check us on YouTube as well.
Who, I got a question for you before we get into the last segment of
Yeah.
the show, Calvin. Who do you think got disrespected the most this year?
Oh man, that's a good question.
For me, I don't think Pathfinder counts on this list because that's been an ongoing problem.
Hmm.
Um, but also the amount of time he was overpowered, it's fair.
Okay.
Um, I have this idea because of who my old backup main was and
Hmm.
who your backup main was.
Hmm.
I think it's either Gibby or Mirage
Mm.
because the Mirage thing, people are probably like, "What are you talking about?" All right,
Right.
everybody, if you have advantage on your team, not even in her ult, if she just looks ADS, she will tell you. She automatically pinpoints who the real Mirage is.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and that's with a voice line passive ability. Like that's fucked up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and everyone's even, oh yeah, like she hard counters Mirage, and I don't think it was intentional, but nobody plays Mirage, so
No one
response just
knows.
left. Response just left it in the game.
Right.
But Gibby is all but. I mean, he was the number one picked legend for a long time.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think he's still a very important legend to the game. I actually just hit a new milestone. I got my 1,000 kills on him, Kelvin,
Nice.
finally. And I
Cool.
still have fun playing him, but like
Yeah.
I swear there was a shadow nerf to his ult.
Mm.
The threat of Mad Maggie's ball makes his bubble
Right.
immune.
And the drill.
Also,
Yeah.
and the drill, but then also like, I mean, dude, as someone who's played Gibby a lot, I'm terrible at bubble fights.
Mm.
Like the skill echelon there to win a bubble fight is like
Yeah.
pretty not fair.
Right.
So, and I think with the influx of people and people trying to get good and people trying to be competitive with the game,
Hmm.
like I just think Gibby and then the new characters, the Gibby's just been left behind, man, and it bums me out.
Hmm.
What about you?
So I'm not gonna say Mirage.
Okay.
And even though I love Mirage and Mirage is still he's a big brain character, absolutely.
Correct.
But they buffed Mirage this year. It used to be that Seer's ult only scanned the actual Mirage, but now Bloodhound, Seer, and Crypto's all picks up,
And Valkyrie.
and Valkyrie, they all pick up all the decoys. So
Yes.
Mirage got a actually pretty good buff um this year. I'm gonna say the most disrespected character this year is our boy Crypto, because they did nothing to
Really?
Crypto. They did nothing to him.
Well, I mean, he got those buffs.
What buffs? The Yeah, he got some changes so that you can put your drone somewhere, but it's
That's
loud.
true.
But it's loud as fuck. Everyone sees it. You shoot it, and then your drone's gone, and you're useless again. You're, you know,
True.
you can get you can get revved, revved orbed if someone just shoots your drone. You know what I mean? Because rev orb takes your abilities away, right? So
Yeah.
if you do rev orb on, let's say, I don't know, Catalyst, she can't do the walls and she can't do the things, right? Cool, whatever the hell, right? But she still has her passives or whatever I don't know, whatever. But like, you shoot Crypto's drone, he's useless for what, 15, 20 seconds?
20, I think
Like,
it's 20.
yeah. Like, and without even a rev orb, and then you rev orb him just to be mean to him. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like he's gotten no love. He needs something. They did give him some good changes, but they proved that they can make a ability that follows you with Vantage, because you throw the bat out, the bat follows you everywhere you go. Why can't they do that with Crypto's drone? Throw his drone out and have the drone follow him, right?
Yeah.
And scan behind him so you know if someone's coming behind or
Yeah. Or
something.
patrol like in a slow
Plus,
circle radius around him.
you
Yeah.
could totally do that. You could absolutely do that, but they did nothing to Crypto, right?
Yeah. No, I'm with that.
Crypto is a big brain character for one reason. One, you can't let your fucking drone get shot. But it's so easy to shoot, number one. But you can't let it get shot. And then number two, it counters everything in the game. It counters all the ultimates, it counters all the tacticals, but
Mhm.
you're out of the game to get it into position. Or
Yeah.
you can't throw Crypto's drone into a corner and just let it sit there and wait, and wait for people to come set up all their defenses and then EMP them. Like, you can't do that because it's
Yeah.
loud. People will hear it, people will see it, and then it's gone. And then all that work you did is useless. And then you got to spend another minute waiting for it to come back and then put it back to position. And then in that time, your teammates are fighting back. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So most disrespected character to this day is Crypto.
Yeah. No, and you know what? As someone who's been playing a lot of crypto, like I agree. He's fun. If I'm not with my friends, I almost always get like a snooty comment about like, "Oh, you play crypto, gross." You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, and again, I'm gonna bring it up, Calvin. I got to the fucking mobile game, man. Like Lifeline's drone and Crypto's drone perform infinitely better in the mobile game. So if they can make a mobile game operate in ways that we would that improve the character, like why don't we get it on the primary game? You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, Crypto. Most
Yeah.
disrespected character.
Yeah, and then it's funny because he is on our who got heirlooms this year.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Crypto, I do love the Nerf sword.
Yes, love it.
Hands
Love
down the best heirloom yet was Valkyrie.
it.
And then
Valkyrie's is good.
Loba got her fan. I really think they missed the mark. The lore story behind the fan was cool, but I
Sure.
do really think they missed the mark with the staff.
The staff.
I think this is the first time a character has had something like built in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like Caustic, the hammer was a little confusing.
You're like, where does this hammer come from?
But it makes sense when you think about his character, and he's like he's I don't know. He's a mad scientist. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
The sticks for Lifeline didn't make sense at first. Now that we know more about her character,
Like, she plays music. We get it.
Yeah, we get it.
And like all the other characters, kind of just like like whatever. But like you're saying, Loba's was built in. It's there.
Yeah.
It's her shop.
Yeah. And imagine like the added like perk you get of like okay, so for example, everybody, Calvin and I play a game called Overwatch. One of the healers is named Zenyatta. So his ability is he uses these orbs and he heals you or does damage with them, right?
Yes.
When you get a golden weapon, which is the equivalent to an heirloom in that game, his orbs are gold. So they float around and they're gold. But when you shoot them, they're still gold. So you see the effect go off.
Yeah.
When he uses his ultimate, where he goes in this like defensive mode, you can still tell the orbs are gold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the added bonus of like, oh hey, Lobas, we've just consistently shit on your character. Here's the gold staff, and when your shop's out, the shop could be gold. Like that could be such a cool little added visual bonus to the game.
Something, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so we got what were you saying? We said Crypto. We said Loba. Who else?
And then Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, Valkyrie.
Obviously is like, she got the most thought out and the most detailed heirloom yet.
For sure. Yeah.
I would argue the only heirloom prettier than hers is Wraith's Kunai because it still just looks amazing. But we don't talk about that character.
We don't talk about that.
But yeah, so we got those three. I mean, if I had to rank those in order, Calvin, it would probably be Valk, Crypto, and then the fan is third. That being said, I do like Loba's fan. I am gonna get it before I get Valk's.
Sure.
But that would be how I would break those three down. What about you?
Crypto, Valk, Loba.
Okay, I figured that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah. The sword's cool, dude. The sword's cool. It has like a thumb lock on it, dude. It does like little like gizmo gadget things on the hilt.
Yeah.
Like it's cool as hell.
I'm assuming it's supposed to be like, what are those little blocks? Like, what do they call them?
A Rubik's Cube?
No. Like little like finger widgets or like for people with restless hands or like
no, like a fidget spinner type thing. No. It's a thumb lock. It's like a number lock where you shift the numbers into position. And and it unlocks it, but it's one of those, and he does those things, and then it makes the drone do things. He controls the drone from the thing.
That's that's like that's a fair point.
It's part of his whole gadget gizmo setup where the controller and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then I would say a positive thing they added to the game this year is the mythic skins.
Yeah, I think those are cool.
So we got ones for Bangalore, Bloodhound, and Wraith.
Yeah.
I think the quality of them has improved.
Oh yeah, Wraith is
beautiful. Like I want that. I want I hate Wraith.
Yeah.
And I want it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Bangs is great too, especially like the level 2 tier of it.
The level 2 is really cool.
And then so you get the skins. Once you get to level 3, they have a unique finisher. I thought that was a really cool addition.
I think that's really cool too. Yep.
I think they need to do a little bit more in that vein with like the
Mm.
mythics can get a finisher. When you get an heirloom, you get the heirloom, you get a frame, and you get a voice line. Okay, let's be honest, nobody gives a flying rat's ass about the voice line. You know
No,
what I mean? So, other than Caustics, I think his is like the only one that's like actually worth using.
I didn't even
Uh,
know what his is.
I don't remember, and he's my main, so that tells you what it is. Um, but like so in the mobile game, one thing I found out is you can actually change the color schemes of the heirlooms.
That's cool.
So kind of like just tweak them subtly to match your skins.
Man, the mobile gets everything, dude. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
So like with the fact that you get like this custom finisher with the mythics, like hopefully they bring in something along this line to their regular heirlooms in the game. You know what I mean?
That would be actually very cool. Because you know who does that now? Overwatch.
Oh yeah, that's right. With the skins, yeah.
With the new skins, the Genji and the Junker Queen skins.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, anyway.
I know, man. Anyways, but yeah, no. So I think overall, there's been a lot of negativity surrounding the game this year. I think a lot of the
Yes.
player base, understandably, is bummed about some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Them really like not knowing what to do with rank dropping the ball. The last of the old devs left, so
Mm.
nobody that actually created the game is still there, as far as
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, what a
Um,
tumultuous year, right?
yeah,
It
but
started
there was
out
still a
really
lot of
strong.
there were still a lot of good things that happened.
Yeah, a lot of good things happened, and we did talk about a lot of good stuff, but that's I want to end on this. I want to end on the actual downturn of the satisfaction of the player base over the
Mhm.
year. It started out strong, and when we got everyone was excited for Stormpoint, and we played Stormpoint, and everyone kind of liked it, but then the only reason why we got sick of it is because they gave it to us for like 3 or 4 months straight, and
Oh
we
yeah.
we couldn't get rid of it. It was just always there, and
Because
they took
it was legit Stormpoint, then they changed it, and
yeah,
then they left it in for ranked. So I think we
yeah.
literally had 3 seasons of Stormpoint.
It was insane. It was just nonstop Stormpoint. It was like, can we get away from Stormpoint and World's Edge, please,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think that was the downturn, or they started the downturn, the catalyst to it, because it was just the catalyst because we we were like, hey, we don't want this, and then there was no response to it, and there was no change to it.
Mhm.
Um, but then over the years, or no, over the year, the rank system changed, and the points. Number one, that because we had that one season that was like stupid hard, and we had the one season that was stupid easy, and then like
Yeah.
the rank point system was just out of whack, and then they changed the rank so that it was easier for the Preds to get into lobbies, and we still to this day we're getting Predators playing with platinum people.
There's a
Just
few
because.
games I've seen a few games where Preds are killing golds.
Well, yeah, yeah. So like that, I was just saying platinum because that's
Oh, yeah.
that's insane. Number one, but it's happened more often than people with gold. But they're still in gold lobbies. They're in. It doesn't make any sense. So like, why are you? And so there's all this catering to the high level players, and all the rest of us were just like, hey, we don't want to play with them. Like, there's way more of us than there are of them.
Yeah.
Like, we just want to play with ourselves. Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah, and like they told us, oh, we're going to change skill based matchmaking. They've told us some few things, but then I mean, I think it was at the end of year 2 they listed a bunch of like, hey, like one of the old devs literally said, hey, we're letting the Apex community know this is the shit we're working on.
Right.
Literally, none of it has happened.
Yeah.
They gave us a 1 point frame rate difference, one from 59 to 60.
Yeah.
And then some of the coloring effects they did, like I noticed after that update on my
Sure.
Series X, like the pinks and the reds and like the
Yeah.
in between colors are more vibrant, and the game does look better.
Sure. Sure.
The making, what was it? They made Kings Canyon brighter, and I actually do think that was a win.
Yeah.
But like, man, like you can do that, but you can't give us the 120 frames. You can't. Like you can fix the rank system season to season, or you can alter it significantly season to
Yeah.
season, but you
Yeah.
can't fix skill-based matchmaking. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And
Like,
I think the biggest thing though, and it's the most recent thing that's happened, is ALGS teams pulling out. Pro teams pulling out of Apex comp. Like
mhm,
that's insane to me. Like you know me. I don't like the pros. I don't watch pro. I don't
yeah,
do nothing with the pros, right? But the fact that there are there have been a couple, like a handful of pro teams pulling out.
I believe there's been 4 major ones.
Yeah, 4 major teams have been pulling out of the Apex comp scene. At some point during the year, the top Apex streamers stopped streaming Apex for a while.
Mhm.
Like insane.
Yeah,
What a
the top girl that streams Apex will no longer even touch the game.
yeah, what insane, dude. Like
Mhm.
what a crazy like turn of events that the year started out so strong, but then at the end of this year, we have all this like limbo
Yep.
with there's huge player dissatisfaction. You know, I just saw, like I said the other day on Reddit, there was someone posted like if there wasn't LTMs in the game's unplayable for the casual person, right? It's ranked is sweat because you got to play with predators now, which you know no one's ready for. And pubs is sweat because everyone's like three stacking, you know, and they're all just going for 4K 20 bombs.
And the matchmaking's broken.
And the
So
matchmaking's broken. So it's just like what a year. We got all this great stuff. There were so many great things added to the game, but the simple act of like disservice to the general player base has just like put the game in a weird state at the end of the
mhm.
year.
Yep. Yep. It's not good.
What
I
a
mean,
weird, yeah.
and like when the pros and the people that make tons of money playing the game are vouching for the regular player, like that's when
Mhm.
you know you have a conundrum. You have a
Mm.
problem. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it does come down to like, I actually think I don't like giving Blizzard plays at all. We know this.
Sure.
But like the whole like, hey, we're taking Overwatch 1, we're turning it into Overwatch 2 to improve everything, and then we're turning Overwatch 1 off.
Yeah.
I think, now that we know Apex was built on a platform that was already 10 years old 4 years ago, like
Mhm.
I know that the game is still making them money, but start working on 2.
That yeah,
Give us
that's actually a really good idea.
give us the second one and then just phase the first one into the second one.
Yeah, that's
You
a good
know,
idea. It's a
like,
really good idea.
hey, the game's going to be offline for 24 hours while we migrate to new servers
Mhm.
with the new tech. Everything carries over. Your
Mhm.
stats carry over. Your heirlooms carry over,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's still the base game is just better and stronger. Like I cannot believe that after 4 years we haven't had that conversation. We've
And
already gotten Warzone 2. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like PUBG is making constant leaps and bounds improvements.
Mhm.
They've acknowledged their flaws. They acknowledged the game looked like it was built 20 years ago. Like they've acknowledged all these things.
Mhm.
Their pro league is strong. It's the
Yeah.
least profitable of all of them, but it's still there.
Right,
You
and
know.
same thing with Overwatch. Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
and Overwatch did a crazy thing. Everyone was like, "What?" Like, just
Yeah.
update the game. But Overwatch 2 does its job. It's
Yeah.
a, you know, whatever. But yeah, what a weird
Yeah. It's just a
thing,
weird. Yeah.
weird thing to happen for this game that was so popular this year.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Honestly, that's all I got for Apex, man.
Same. Same.
So I do want to do this though. Fuse's Motherload album of the year.
Ooh.
What album was like your album of the year, Joel? We all got a
Album of the
Spotify.
year.
We all got a Spotify wrap ups.
I don't use Spotify.
We all got our
I use
Apple.
Apple.
We all got our Apple wrap ups. Spotify, whatever, Amazon. People use Amazon Music, which is fucking weird. Um,
Yeah, that
but
one really weirds me
but I
out.
know mine. My album of
Well,
the year, which I didn't realize, I thought it was another album, but my album of the year was Periphery 4 Hail Stan.
oh, interesting.
That's my album of the year. That's my most listened to album of the year. And it fucks, dude. Uh Reptile, a 15-minute song to start the album out, and it's great all the way
Yeah.
through. Blood Eagle, Church Burner, Garden of the Bones. I can go through the whole
Yeah.
list. And then they end the song with Satellites, and Satellites rips, dude. What a great song to end the album with.
Is that a POD cover?
No, it's a whole new song, right?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But yeah, Periphery Hail Stan, Periphery 4 Hail Stan Solid album. Check it out. And they're going on tour this year with the Under Oath and Loathe.
Yes,
So
yes, which
that's
is gonna be
I'm
that's an amazing lineup.
dude, like what the hell? But anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually they're coming to San Diego, so I'm going.
I know.
Um,
Yeah. You're stoked.
I'm stoked. But anyways, yeah. So Periphery 4, Hail Stan. Check it out. Album of the year.
My album of the year, if we're truly going off of like, what was the most listened to record,
Mm-hmm.
that we have. Oh man, mine's probably a pretty even split. Um, oh wow, excuse me.
Yeah, what's going on? Are you okay?
Um, yeah, no, that just I ran out of water like 10 minutes ago. So mine's like a three-way split. I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's three albums that have basically been in constant rotation in my life.
Okay.
Eternal Blue by Spirit Box,
Solid
obviously.
album. Solid album.
Obviously. Ironically enough, Sour by Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
She just pulls my old like little emotional hopeless romantic heartstrings. I don't know
Love
what it
that.
is. I don't know what it is, but it's true. Um and then fucking Post Malone 12 Karat Toothache. Like
Ah,
I'm just a posty guy, man. Those
I
those
get
three
it.
records are my top spun.
I love it.
And like it's all pretty equal. Like it's all like it's not like I guess if I had to choose, I probably listen to Post more than the other two if I actually
Mm-hmm.
break it down. But
Mm-hmm. All right. Post Malone and Periphery. I love it. I love that. I love that Pony Boy's touring with Spirit Box. Like,
I'm so ready for that show.
dude, I'm so ready for that show.
So
I'm so
ready for that
stoked.
show.
But
Yeah.
anyways, Joe
Anyways,
Cupcake, a good 2022 year for Pex Pals.
I agree.
I yeah,
We had a lot of we hit a lot of good milestones. We got a lot
yeah,
of like there's so many of you reoccurring listeners. Like we always get the same minimum number of downloads an episode, and like that to Calvin and I like we do this for fun.
yeah.
We also do this because it's a good way for us to like consistently bug each other. You know what I mean? And like we both love the game and each other, and
Yeah.
we just been a great year for the show. Hopefully next year will be better for the show when
Yeah.
the game hopefully gets a little bit of new life breathed into it.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. No, yeah, I really enjoy doing the show with you. I really enjoy doing the show. I really appreciate everyone who listens in regularly, which is amazing around the world, which is
Yeah.
amazing. Like we're speaking a whole nother language than some people are even used to, and they're still listening to the show.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
that's amazing. So thank you so much for listening to the show. Thank you so much for supporting us. You know, it makes it enjoyable. The fact that I know that people, despite our incessant cussing and my terrible behavior to Joel,
Yeah.
that people still come back and listen to the show. Well, speaking of, if you're still listening to this an hour into this is probably one of the longest shows I've ever had. New podcast for Joel Cupcake.
Oh yeah. I was gonna bring this up next episode, but that's fine.
Bring it up.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Yeah. Me and my friend Julianne, Calvin and I have both played Apex with her. She's a diehard Overwatch fan. I've been the last couple of months really been diving in hard to Overwatch too. We started a new podcast called the GGEZ Pod. All we're talking about is Overwatch. First 3 episodes are up right now on all the platforms. You can find us on social media. We have a Discord, all that. Just look for it. It's easy to find.
Yeah.
You can follow if you follow my socials. I'm always posting the links and stuff. So
Yeah. So check them out. GG Easy Podcast and Overwatch
thanks, Calvin.
Podcast. Yeah, of course. Joe Cupcake. It's wrapping up the year. Beak 6 feet deep. All the nice things. All the nice things we say at the end of the
6 feet deep. Like that's
episode.
Cody Axe. If you listen to this whole episode, I'm tired of your fucking Mozambique disrespect.
Yeah. Seriously.
But I love you. I love you.
Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for checking us out. We'll be back next year. Bye.